So here's the answer key to the basic test example questions for target 3, solving systems of linear equations. So when it says substitution, the first step is to solve one of the equations for one of the letters. Well, at the basic level, that's going to already be done for you. The second equation is already solved for y. So then step 2, we make our substitution. Substitute means replace. So we're going to replace the y variable in the other equation with what the second equation says y equals. So here's what that looks like. I'm copying the top equation, but instead of writing y, I'm going to replace or substitute 8/3 minus 1/3 x in place of where the y goes. And notice I used parentheses around that. You have to do that. Then it's just solving a linear equation. You'll notice your equation at this point only has one variable, x. So we take away parentheses by distributing the 3. When you have a 3 on top and bottom, the 3's will cancel there. So it'd be 3 divide 3, which is 1, times 8, which is 8. Minus 3 times 1/3 is 1. And then you combine your like terms that are on the same side of the equal sign. Solve for x. So I'm going to subtract 8. And then divide by 6. Now we're not done though. This is not the final answer because an answer to a system has two parts, an x and a y. So to find y, I'm going to substitute the answer I just got in place of x in one of the equations. So I chose this one because it tells me how to find y. So I take 8/3 and I subtract 1/3 of -4. So this becomes minus a -4/3, which becomes plus 4/3. To add fractions, you need a common denominator, which we have. So we keep the common denominator, add the numerators, we get 12/3, which is 4. So the solution to the system is the point -4, 4. When we're using elimination, we could use elimination for this one, by the way, but you should get the same answer. But when equations are set up like this, where neither of them are solved for y or x, that tends to lend itself better towards elimination. And what you want to do is you want to make sure all your x's, your y's, your equal signs, and your constant terms are all lined up like they are in this problem. So then you ask yourself, okay, if I add them right now, will anything eliminate? No. I'd get 7x and I'd get 2y. So I have to do some multiplying first. So I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by 2. And my thinking is that I will turn this y term into -4y, which is the opposite of positive 4y above it. So when I add these together, the y's will eliminate. Now a common mistake is right here. People forget to multiply both sides of the equal sign by that number. Always double check that. So now I'm going to add these together. Doing so, the y's eliminate, so I have 0y here. 3x and 8x is 11x. And 18 plus 4 is 22. So essentially I have 11x equals 22. Divide by 11, and you get 2. So now I'm going to substitute. It's okay to substitute after you get your first part of your answer. So I'm going to substitute 2 in place of one of the x's. It doesn't matter which one. I just chose the top one. So I substitute, And then I'm going to solve this for x, or for y. Now there are many correct ways to solve this problem, and you should, no matter which way you do it, you should get the point 2, 3 as the solution. So some other things you may have done, you may have multiplied the top by 4 and the bottom by -3. And that'd make the x's eliminate, because you'd have 12x and -12x. That would work. There are a lot of different ways, but this way I showed was probably the quickest and most efficient. Part 2 will have the meets exceeds type questions. Any questions on that, guys?
Nope. No.
You guys feel okay with it?
Yeah.
What's the third math value?
Third Math Excel is going to be due Thursday, not tomorrow, but Thursday. So right now you should have turned in or have done targets 1 and 2. And if you need the paper one, you should have the paper one.